Let me tell you a truth most people will never hear. You'll never be truly wealthy. Not until you fix what's broken inside you. This isn't about your intelligence. It's not about your hustle. It's not about how many hours you work or how desperately you want something. I've spoken to thousands of people throughout my life, some brilliant, some talented, many tireless in their efforts, and yet most remained without real results. Why? Because wealth isn't attracted by effort alone. Wealth is attracted by alignment, by identity, by who you are, not just what you do. There's a reason you know people who seem to do less than you, but they have more opportunities, more income, more results. And it's not luck. It's because they've corrected something within themselves that most people ignore their entire lives. They fix the root, while others just keep trimming the leaves. So, let me ask you something. What are you fixing right now? Are you trying a new strategy? Reading more books? Starting a new business? That's fine. But if you're not fixing the core, if you're not upgrading the identity behind the effort, you're just decorating a broken system. You're painting over rust because your results are never the real problem. Your results are the mirror, the reflection of your self-image, your beliefs, your energy. If you don't like what you're seeing, you don't fix the mirror. You fix yourself. Now, most people never hear this. They're taught to grind, to chase, to hustle harder, and so they burn out. They blame the economy, the market, the competition. But the real battle is internal. And unless that battle is won, no external victory will last. Andrew Carnegie knew this. He said, "Any idea that is held in the mind, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate physical forms available." In other words, your mind builds your reality. And if your mind is programmed for limitation, no amount of effort, no matter how great, will override that. I remember talking to a guy who had every advantage: money, education, network, but he was always stressed, always scrambling, always broke. He had learned how to work, but he had never learned how to think. And there's the difference. Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you are right." But let me take that further. Whatever you believe you deserve, you will eventually receive. Not what you want, not what you hope for, what you believe. So ask yourself, what do you truly believe you're worth? Do you carry the posture, the habits, the energy of someone who expects wealth? Or do you secretly see yourself as someone who's trying to succeed? Because if you're trying, you're still doubting. And wealth doesn't respond to doubt. It responds to certainty. You must walk as if you are already wealthy. Think as if you are already there. Decide as if your success is inevitable, not optional. This isn't pretending. This is alignment. The outer world bends to the inner world, not the other way around. Let me give you the blueprint. What I've seen in every self-made millionaire I've interviewed. First, they decide. Not wish, not wonder. They decide. They get clear on the life they want, down to the smallest detail. And then they align everything with that decision. Their habits, their routines. Their friends, their inputs. Everything must reinforce the new identity they've chosen. No more trying. No more someday. They embody it now. That is the shift that makes all the difference. You think success comes later, after the money, after the proof, after the praise. No, it comes now. It comes when you become the kind of person who receives it. Let me remind you, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. It only responds to repetition and emotion. That's why affirmations matter. That's why vision matters. That's why action matters. You must flood your mind with a new identity. Again and again, until it sticks. Until it feels natural, until anything less becomes uncomfortable. That's how you know you're changing. People think this is fake it till you make it. It's not, it's train it until you own it. Every habit is a vote for your future self, every morning routine, every decision, every risk you take in the direction of your purpose. It's casting a ballot. And eventually, your vote outweighs your past. That's how real transformation works. Not overnight, but over time, through alignment and discipline. Want to know why the wealthy get wealthier? It's not just compounding money, it's compounding identity. They believe, so they act, so they win, so they believe even more, It's a cycle, And here's the best part. You can start that cycle today, not next year. Not after your next course, today, But first you must stop sabotaging your future by defending your limitations. You say, I don't have the right background. You say, I've failed too many times. You say, I'm too old or too young. Let me tell you what I've seen. None of that matters. I've met people who were bankrupt at 40 and millionaires by 45. I've met immigrants who came with nothing but a suitcase and retired with empires. I've met women who were laughed at by everyone around them, until they built companies no one could ignore. What changed? Not the economy, not the system, them. They changed. They fixed the inner thermostat. They reprogrammed their belief system until it could no longer tolerate average, and from that shift, everything changed, So I ask you now, are you ready to fix the real problem? Are you ready to stop patching the surface and go to the source? Because once you do, once you stop chasing and start aligning, wealth comes. Not as a reward, but as a reflection. Think about the stories I've told throughout my life's work. Carnegie didn't build an empire by chance. He built it by mastering the power of thought and directing it with unwavering clarity. Thomas Edison didn't stumble into invention. He believed in the invisible before the world saw anything. He failed over 1,000 times, but his belief never broke. Henry Ford didn't listen to critics. They told him he was insane for believing in affordable automobiles. He acted as if it was already possible. And then it became possible. Every one of them had this in common. They acted before the world believed. They embodied success before the world rewarded them. That's what you must do. You must lead yourself when no one is watching. You must build the mindset of a wealthy person before the money arrives. Because the money doesn't come first. The person comes first, then the world follows, so decide who you are. Choose the vision. Repeat it until it replaces your doubt. Act in alignment with that identity, no matter how awkward, how uncertain, how scary. Because this is how it starts. You're not waiting for life to give you permission. You are becoming the kind of person life cannot ignore. Now, listen carefully, because this may be the moment that changes your path forever. You will be tempted every single day to act like the old you, to check your bank account and feel lack. To compare your life with someone else's and feel behind. To wait until you feel ready before moving. But those are the traps of someone still reacting to life. You are not here to react. You are here to create. Start with your words. Your language is a thermostat for your destiny. Stop saying, I can't. Stop saying, I hope. Stop saying, we'll see. Speak like someone who expects to win. Say, I will. Say, it's happening. Say, I always find a way. These are not affirmations. They are commands. Commands to your subconscious. Commands to your nervous system. Commands to your environment. And when spoken with certainty, over and over, your mind has no choice but to obey. Pair the action, and nothing can stop you. Your only job now is to decide again, every single day. Decide who you are. Decide what you deserve. Decide what you will no longer tolerate. Because once the decision is made, the universe moves. And when you move in alignment with that decision, the doors open. This is how the world bends, not to wishes, but to will. You have it. Now use it. Let me leave you with this. Most people will spend their entire lives doing more and becoming less. They'll run faster, push harder, and wonder why nothing changes. But you now know the truth. Wealth is a result, not a reward, and the source is you. Fix the source, and everything follows. So if this message lit a fire in you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to this channel right now. Turn on notifications so you never miss your next step. Share this video with someone you care about, someone who's tired of chasing and ready to attract, because you're not here to survive. You're here to create. And your new life begins with your next thought.